Hey, Jack Spirko here with another survival podcast video. Just a quick little video today with a couple kind of cool, or at least I think they're cool finds to consider for your kits and your prepping and everything else. One, I was recently at Academy Sports and Outdoors. I'm sure you can get these from like Cabela's online, or I'll check on Amazon if I can find it on Amazon. I'll put a link to it for you. But this is made by a company called Game Winner, and it is a universal pistol cleaning kit, self-contained in this little handle, and it was like $4.95, and I went, I gotta get one, I gotta check this out. So here's how this works. This comes apart, and down in here is a compact little cleaning rod that's just over 6 inches in length, and of course that can then, well actually I put it together backwards. That screws on there like that. And then this second one has this pivot so that as it's going through the rifling, it will allow it to rotate for you. And then you can add your attachments, and this is again just about 6 inches long. And when you look at something like pushing a patch through it, and you go ahead and you add your tool, that gives you another inch. So this will handle up to a 7-inch barreled handgun. So just about any of your semi-autos and most of your revolvers, this is going to work as a good cleaning kit for. And nice to have a little cleaning kit with you when you're at the range, even when you make a quick trip to the range. So this can go in a glove box, this can go into a range bag, this can go anywhere. And I had an interesting thought. Even though they're $5 a piece, this would be kind of expensive to do. But check this out. If you bought 3 of these, you'd end up with a bunch of brushes. And I mean, at $5, you're getting 3 different brushes, and brushes do wear out. You're getting, basically it's a tool that's a 22 caliber for your patches, and I guess it's universal because you could put any size patch there or use it to push a patch through. But if you take out everything but the 22 tool and the 22 brush, and now we drop in our 2 pieces of rodding. I don't know if you can see in there, but there is plenty of room left in that tool. Now what that would allow me to do is go out and buy 2 more of them and put all of them in there and still be able to get a little vial of like gun oil down in there. And then this would be a great compact tool for all of those short barrel carbine rifles like your ARs with 16-inch barrels, or for, let's say, you folks like me that love the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. Not sure I'm going to do that, but even just as it runs for $5, with the assortment of tools that it comes with, and even with the brushes, there's plenty of room to put a small vial of gun oil in there and a few patches. And again, if let's say you are not a person that shoots 22 handguns, you could pull out your 22 brush, make a little bit more room. Because of course you've got basically your 44 caliber and your 35 caliber size brushes going with that. I wouldn't call it 100% universal, but for $5, awesome little tool. Totally unrelated tool. The first one of these tools like this I purchased that was made by a company called Cobalt, and I really like Cobalt tools, and it looked really heavy duty, and I liked the heavy duty factor, but it was made out of all steel, including the handles, and while that made it rugged, it made it bulky, and it made it heavy, and it wasn't very convenient to carry because the scales on the sides of it were almost as thick as the centerpiece. What this one's made by Husky. You can find them at Home Depot and Lowe's. It is a folding knife, for lack of a better term, that uses a standard razor blade. And there's this little button right here, and all you do to take the blade out is you push that button, you pull the blade out. Let's say your blade's dull, you want to flip it around or replace it, and you put it right back in. Now, why do I think these are so cool to have as an EDC tool to keep in your kits and what have you? When you got a knife and it's dull, you got to sharpen it, and that takes time. You don't always have a lot of time. There's also a lot of things that you need to cut, that you need to be really kind of sharp to cut, but it's not really a rugged job. It's not necessarily like doing any bushcrafting or anything like that. It's just maybe opening a box. It may be cutting a piece of flooring. There's a lot of things that you need to cut. Sharp blade, but not necessarily a really strong blade. Well, this was $11. I think it was $11, and it came with about 10 razor blades with it, and I can go out and buy a package of 100 razor blades for like $10. And once I do that, I can basically every week, you know, kind of whether I need to or not, just throw away a blade and put a new blade in it. I can carry this everywhere I go. It's compact. It was really, I think, designed for a person that's maybe doing carpeting work or flooring work or unpacking boxes all the time that needs a razor knife that doesn't want a great big honking razor knife. But it's also great for things like skinning small game. I'd much rather skin a squirrel or a rabbit with this than a typical knife. So it has an awful lot of use and utility, and it's very inexpensive, and it's quite rugged. I'd actually say that that clip that fits inside your pocket is probably more rugged than the average low-end pocket knife. It's actually going to do a lot more for you than the average low-end pocket knife. I would still carry something with you, like I carry a Cold Steel Spartan now. I'm not really in love with that knife. I'll do a review on it for you later, but I've been carrying that a little bit to see how I like it. I often carry a Buck 110 and a sheath on my belt. I would not carry this in replacement for a bigger, heavier working knife, but for your day-to-day cutting and to save that bigger, heavier knife from being dulled, man, you can't go wrong with these. So there you go. Two little finds I wanted to share with you today. Check them both out. Again, about $5 for the Universal Pistol Kit. Nice little self-contained aluminum handle. Both sides of it do come off and leave you with a tube. I'm sure you can come up with other things that you might be able to build into a kit like this. And if you bought 2 to make a longer rod or 3 to make a longer rod, you could run the one with the kit with the thing and harvest off maybe the third one's end, and you could build a little kit with that. That would be cool. And then you just use your extra parts. We can all use extra gun cleaning parts. The razor knife, again, just an awesome, inexpensive, easily swapped out, easy to carry, lightweight, nice tool. Again, I thought the Cobalt version was a much better rugged tool, but how rugged do you need something to be when you're relying on a razor blade? Not that rugged, and what you really want is convenient to carry, so you'll carry it. Since the day I bought this, it hasn't been out of my left pocket unless I've been using it. I've carried it with my shorts, my jeans, wherever I'm. So check them out. Thank you for tuning in to another Survival Podcast video.